Hey guys, welcome back to Knife Mania. Day 7 of our lock-in. Wanted to show you completion of the first one. Very shiny, very beautiful. I use polyurethane like you guys seen on the other test video. The bands and pouch are from Simple Shot. These are just regular old rubber bands holding it on. But I wanted to show you guys my favorite carving knife, and it's actually not an expensive knife. You see me use the Bark River, the Mora, and the Geotech on this slingshot. Well, those are all great knives. They work beautifully, the whole 9 yards. But for me, when it comes to whittling, this one. This is Cold Steel Finhawk. It's I want to say it's about 30 bucks, and it's Cold Steel's take on the Mora. Basically, you get better steel than the Mora, you get a thicker spine than the Mora, you still get that true Scandi grind on it. But what does it for me is, well, let's keep going with why this is better than a Mora, at least right out of the box. Better stainless steel. You get a little bit longer. This is more compared to the Companion in blade length. It's wider, it's thicker, and if I remember right, this is 4116 stainless steel. Comes with a already sharpened 90 spine for your rods. The grip to me is just so much better. It's a softer rubber, but it works really, really nice, and it comes with a lanyard hole, so you don't have to pop one of those through your handle and, you know, tear up your handle. It comes with one already in it. The only thing I wish that Cold Steel, if you're listening, if you ever see this thumb groove is awesome when you gotta do some prying with it, but then again, it's a lightweight blade. You don't want to pry with it. Be better if you put like rather than the thumb hold there, unless you're fighting, I get it, but other than that, make that like a hard pummel so that you can crack nuts with it or something. Just from someone who uses this knife as his outdoors knife. And the sheath is just like a Mora sheath, except it doesn't have the thumb ramp. Cold Steel, this locks up beautiful. It holds, it's really tight. It'd be nice if we had a thumb ramp there to grab, pull it out. But other than that, I put a full fishing rig on it underneath the electrical tape. It's got sinkers, hooks, line. I can actually take this off and use this as my hand line reel. There's all kinds of ways to modify sheaths, guys. I'm not going to go into that. But I reviewed this knife up north, I think last year, and it was just me sitting there reviewing it. But rather than just sitting there reviewing it, I want to actually use it and show you that, you know, I really do enjoy this knife. This is slingshot number 2. Slingshot number 1 is done. This is going to be slingshot number 3, all clamped together, drying. Slingshot number 4 isn't even put together yet. Again, all the parts are cut out, so. And I'm thinking rather than putting the big thick handles on the last 2, I think what I'll do is keep them narrow and round them off. Kind of like for like the old school back pocket slingshot, you know, something that you can just grab and go outside and shoot leaves or whatever, you know. These are works of art, and it's a project to keep me busy. But anyway, back to the knives. So yes, this is the Cold Steel Finhawk. This is the Finn Wolf, which I need to sharpen. I beat the snot out of this blade. It's got nicks in it, everything else. This is my EDC for work. It is not a low carry, low riding pocket knife. It sits quite high in the pocket, which I like for at work. You know, that way I can just reach down, grab it, cut a box, cut insulation, a lot of times there's still insulation on a lot of the pipes that I weld. I'm a certified high pressure vessel welder, so I do a lot of pipe welds. Well, normally they're high pressure steam lines. They're covered in insulation, so you gotta get rid of the insulation. But anyway, these two knives together, I mean, 6.5 a dozen in the other. Blade length on this one's probably a good 3/4 of an inch longer than the pocket knife. Both weigh approximately, no, this one's a little bit heavier. Same thickness spine. I'm going to guess same, yeah, same width. Same 0 Scandi grind on them. It's just this is a pocket knife. I went with orange in case I drop it. I need to be able to find it. I would go as far as to say you could clean deer with this, whatever. I went and cleaned small game, and I found out that little notch works great for opening beer bottles. I mean, pop bottles. But anyway, back to the Finhawk. So I can sit here and literally whittle almost all day, just because I really like the shape of this handle. The ergonomics of it are fantastic. Now this side is just a poplar side, so oops. Probably my sister texting me. I'm going nuts. Alright. Now this side poplar, this side oak. And again, it's nothing. And again, all these little shavings, I actually, hold on, I'll be right back. I'll grab it. Been trying to save for my fire starters. So what else can I tell you about this? Obviously it's stainless. Whoa, I'm shaking the camera. It's stainless steel. Comes in a carefree package, just like the Moras or even the Falkneven A1s. Plastic sheath, decent steel. You don't have to worry about cleaning it too often. You know, it's not going to rust on you right away. Just, and the ergonomics of this, I'd take this over a Mora. This, to me, this knife here is a Mora killer, but again, you're going to pay a little extra for it. You know, rather than, what is it, like $8 for 511, or I think you can get a Mora companion for like around $15. This is almost double the price. This is probably around $30, if I remember correctly. Is it worth it? Absolutely. It's one of those knives that you lose it, yeah, you're gonna get a little angry about because you spent more than $8 on, you know, yeah, but is it gonna break the bank to go out and get a new one? No, absolutely not. So as you can tell, I'm doing different types of cuts, just trying to show you that I really do like whittling with this knife. We'll try to keep the shavings on the table, Brian. You can get super fine. And for those of you who think feather sticking, yeah, believe me, this thing will feather stick. Any of the knives I showed you in the last couple days will feather stick like nobody's business, okay? Again, that Geotech, I had to modify the edge. It came with a secondary V grind, which they work. They're great for beginners. But convex or Scandi is the way to go. So, what else can I tell you about it? It is not a full tang knife like the Moras. It is not full tang. You can tell I've used it, cleaned it, used it, cleaned it. I've only had to sharpen this knife a few times, so it's got decent edge retention. It's not as good as the Bark River, but I will say, I got glue on my hand. I will say it holds the edge better than the Mora stainless steels. Um, but again, can you go wrong with a Mora? No. Can you go wrong with a Bark River? No. Can you go wrong with the Finhawk? No. Then it all comes down to getting down, buying them, or if you got a buddy who has them, and he's a nice guy and he lends them out and lets you borrow, take them out and use them. Don't abuse them, especially if they're not yours, but use them. You know, I got a bad habit of throwing my knives. I really do. In fact, if the weather was nicer and if we could go outside more, I'd go outside and show you guys my new throwing board, which I found out of scrap. I made out of scrap that was in my shed. So, it's not pretty, but hey, at least I can throw my knives at it, right? So, yeah. Just sitting here whittling away, day number 7. Like I said, I got the other slingshot done. I got slingshot number 3 gluing together. This is slingshot number 2, which I'm in the process of whittling. I did use the Dremel to clean up in the tight areas, get the finger grooves just right. I did whittle into them to get them initially, but oh, that's a poplar side. I want to whittle on the oak side. Woo, fine shavings, fine shavings, fine shavings, fine shavings. And again, when you're whittling, you're not trying to take huge chunks of material. You're just trying to get that form in. You're not going nuts. A good thing to practice on whittling is actually, I would say spoons. You know, when you whittle away on spoons, something that every bushcrafter, survivalist should know how to make and whittle. Should know your knots. You know, mostly like your clove hitch, your 2/2 hitch, your sheep shank, and a few others. Even a monkey's fist for throwing a lighter rope over a tree. They'll haul up a bigger rope for like your bear bags and stuff like that. Or just when you're trying to string up game in a tree, you know, you don't want to tie a big, massive knot in your deer hunting line, so you take your 550 cord, tie a monkey fist in it, put a rock in the center of it, you know, whatever, tie it to the other end of your hunting line, throw it over the tree, and then you can string up your game. Or if you're like me, you can get lazy, throw it over, tie it to the hitch of your truck, haul it up, and then tie it off. Hey, it works. After you've been out hunting all day and you gotta take care of your game, it works. Some people use hitches, but for the longest time, that's how I used to have to get my game up in the tree. I'd have to tie my 550 cord, put a monkey's fist in it, throw it over a branch, heave ho it up there. But this video is on the GoPro, and we're going to try to upload it live, because the last time I used the GoPro what was it? Reuse that editing.
I use an editing program.
She used the editing program, tried to upload it, and
audio and video were off.
yeah, the audio and video were off. So I retook it down and re-put it up, didn't we?
Yes, without the programming.
Without the programming, and it seemed to work just fine. So we're going to do this one, put it up there. Again, we're trapped inside, guys, just like majority of America and the world. So find hobbies, play with your knives the best you can, even if it's running outside, grabbing a stick and bringing it. In fact, oh, where is it? It's right up here on top of the fridge. Brought this in so I could practice my notches and different things, you know. This is actually a pot hanger. There is a lot of traffic. It's Monday. Everyone's supposed to be home. Well, whatever. But anyway, guys, stay out there. Keep your mind sharp. keep your knife sharp, keep your fingers out of the way. Till next time. Later, guys.